the previous class we have discussed how to draw the
No,
projections
what
of
is
projections of development of a pyramid. Pyramid will be developed using a method called as radial line development method. So radial line development method will be used here in case of the development of a pyramid. But here it is a square pyramid, that is frustum of a square pyramid. Frustum of a square frustum means, so when you cut when the section plane is parallel to the base, when the section plane is parallel to the base and passing a perpendicular to the axis of the pyramid, then such a solid, whatever the cut section what we are getting at the bottom, so that we are calling it as frustum of a square pyramid. We'll go for drawing the frustum of the square pyramid in orthographic view first. We'll draw the xy line here, right? So this is the say xy line. So I have to draw it with thin line. So I'll take continuous line and thin line. Then I have to draw the square pyramid in top view. The square pyramid in top view will look like a square only. So for that I will take square here of base side 40 mm. So 40 mm by 40 mm I will take now, right? Its axis vertical and a side of its base is parallel to VP. So you can, if you draw like this, so the side of the base, one of the side will be parallel to VP here. So we have to draw the orthographic projection like this, right? One of the side here, this side is say parallel to VP, this side is also parallel to VP. So that's what the problem statement they are given. Axis is vertical and the side of the base is parallel to VP. So this is the bottom base I had drawn now. So from this bottom base, we'll raise the axis height now, right? We'll go for drawing the front view now. So those points I can mark, right? So I'll draw the front view now, right? So I have to mark here in the top view, I have to mark the apex here. So apex I will mark here. So this is the point O in the bracket O1, right? And these points I will mark here. So this is say A, this point is say B, this is C, and this point is D. Now the apex will mark it in the front view also. So axis point O1 I got. Axis height here is 50 mm, right? So the axis height, the height of the solid is 50 mm, but it is not the axis height is 50 mm. That is not mentioned here. Axis height is 50 mm. Instead, they mentioned that height of the solid is 50 mm here. So I have to draw properly here the point O1 from here. So I'll just zoom this area so that it will be clear. Yes. Why it is not drawing properly? So it should be 90 degree exactly. Angle 90 degree I will give here. So 90 degree exactly I drawn here. Then the axis height is 50. Sorry, the height of the solid is 50 mm. So I will take 50 mm here. So this is the height, right? Then what I have to do is here I have to draw another square here, the top surface. Top surface of the frustum of the square pyramid is again another square here, but in the front view it will be seen as a line here. So the top of pyramid, so you can see here in the top side of the frustum of the square pyramid is having a side of 25 mm. So totally is 25 mm. So if you take from a midpoint, on either side is 12.5 mm, right? So this side is 12.5 mm and this side also I'll take it as 12.5 mm. So total it is say 25 mm. So these corners I have to join now. The top surface I will join with the bottom base like this. So this is how it is seen in the front view. In the front view, the square frustum of the square pyramid will be seen like this. We are not seeing the apex here, right? So this is how I drawn the front view. So these visible edges I can make it dark here. So these are all the visible edges. I will make them dark now, right? So this is how it looks like. When you draw the projectors downwards and get the top view, so I have to get the top view here from these points. I'll draw the projectors downwards here up to here. I'll draw here also. I'll draw up to here, right? Then if you draw in the top view, that top surface will be visible here. So we have to make it as thick lines here. So I have to join a line from here to here, right? Then from up to here, then up to here, and then back to here. So it is seen as a square. And these lateral sides are visible as thick lines. So those lines I can make it as the thick lines here. So these lines, so lateral slant edges, right? So those slant edges will be seen as thick lines. So these points I can mark here in the front view, that is top view, as 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll mark this point as say 1, this is 2, this corner is say 3, and this corner is say 4. In the top view, it will, sorry, front view, it will be seen as 1 dash in the bracket, 4 dash here, and this point is say 2 dash in the bracket, 3 dash, right? And here in the bottom base, it is A dash in the bracket, D dash, and this side is B dash in the bracket, C dash. And this is an axial line. So this axial line I have to mark as an axial line only, long line and a small dash, then 0.25 mm thickness, right? I drawn the axial line here. So this is your XY line and VPHP, all those things you can mark here. So this is X, this point is say Y, and VPHP I'll mark here. So this is VP and this is HP, and the side you can dimension it also. So the axis height is here, right? So we have to dimension this height of the solid. Yes, 50 mm, and this one is say 40 mm, and this side is 25 mm. So this is the given solid. We have drawn it in orthographic projection. The given solid, that is first term of a square pyramid, which is having a base of 40 mm and top side 25 mm, and the height 50 mm has been drawn here. So this orthographic projection, if you draw, you will get 5 marks in case of your examination. In examination, you will get 5 marks for drawing this orthographic projection. For remaining 10 marks will be for drawing the development of the square pyramid. So development of this square pyramid you have to draw now. For drawing the development of the square pyramid, we have to find the apex here, where this apex joins. So these lines we have to extend here. So I will just drag these still down, because I want some space at the top. So I'm drawing it down now. Right now, these two slant edges, if you produce, then where they will meet, that is your apex. So for that, what I will do is I will extend this axis line. Axis line I will just extend here from this. I don't know what is the height here. I will just axis line I will extend. Then there is an option called as extend to next. So this option I will use now. Extend to next. So this slant edge should be extended to next. So this slant edge should be extended to next here, right? So extend to next. It is not working. Yes, it is not working. In that case, what I can do is I will just extend this line. I will take a line to itself. I will take a thin line, right? From here, I will extend like this, right? I have to extend this line. Extend to next should work. So it is not working next. So here the space is not sufficient here. That is why it is not working, right? I will just move this up. I will just increase the length of this, say 100 mm. I will say I'm extending. So I'll use this extend to next now. Now you can see automatically it is extended to next. Here also I am extending. So because there was no space earlier, that's why it is not working. I'll just drag it down, right? I'll still drag it down, and this axis line also I have to move. Yes. Yes. It is. I'll still drag it down. Excess line, I'll trim off here, use the trim tool, and this excess line I can trim off. Though these two lines actually from here to here, so these two lines, initially I will mark it as a thin line only, then from here to here I will mark it as the thick line. So from here, from 2 dash to this B dash, I will make it as thin, and 1 dash to A dash, I will make it as thick, right? So the apex I have marked now. So this is the apex, that is the point, say O dash. O dash is this apex, right? Here is O1 dash, right? So this length of this slant edge I need now. What is the true length of the slant edge I need? But here in the top view, none of the generators, slant generators are in true, that is parallel to XY line. None of the slant generators, either OB or OC, anything is not parallel to XY line. So whatever this length you are seeing here, So the length of this line, it is not in true length. You have to find the true length of the slant generator. For finding the true length of the slant generator, what I will do is I will rotate the top view and get the true length of the slant generator. That is O dash B dash. I will rotate now. What I am doing is I will take the arc by center point method. I will take the radius from O to B here, right? I will draw the arc like this. So this is your point B1 dash. So this, sorry, B1. This point is B1. So B1, I will extend it to the front view now, right? From B1, I will project it to the front view. Then I will join it to O dash here, right? I will join it to O dash. Whatever the length of O dash B1 dash, right? This one. So this is the true length of the slant generator. This is what we are calling the true length of the slant generator. It is 136.3, right? That you can see it is 136.3 mm. So this I have to use now. That is the true length of the slant generator I have to use now, and I have to draw the arc. I will take the arc tool now, arc by center point method, right? Take any point as center here, right? Radius is equal to 136 point, what is that value? 136.43, isn't it? I'll just zoom this area, 136.3. Okay. I'll take 136.3 as the radius. I'll draw an arc now, right? I'll draw the arc like this. It's going outside, no problem, right? Now I'll join this one point to this one. I'll join, all right? So this is your point O, right? This point I will call it as O, and this point is now A. So this is the point A now. Now I have to mark the point B, C, D, etc. by taking this 40 mm as radius. I will take the arc by center point method. I will cut this with A as center, 40 mm as radius. I will draw an arc now. Similarly, this is 40 mm now. I took, yes. Again, with this point as center, 40 mm as radius, I will draw another arc now. Similarly, like this, with this point as center, so this is intersection point, 40 mm as radius, right? I will draw another arc now. So this is the point B, this is C, this is D. Again, I have to mark the point A, 40 mm as radius. Right? Cut this. Or else I'll just press the delete key. Yes. Right? Cut this. So this is your point A again. So you can mark these points here. This is the point B, right? And this is the point C. This is the point D, and this is the point A back. Then OA, OB, AFC, you can join with a thin line now. Take the line and you join O to this B, then O to C. Intersection point you have to get here. If you are not getting, go to IntelliSketch and turn off this midpoint. Then you can see that intersection point here, right? Yes. Similarly, O to D, then O to A back, right? Now I have to mark these points 1, 2, 3, 4. For marking the points 1, 2, 3, 4, what you have to do is this point 1 dash, 2 dash, etc. you have to project onto the true length line. Then find the distance between this O dash to 1, 1 dash. So for that, we'll go for finding the distance between O dash to this true length line. This distance will measure. So what is the distance? It is 85.19. We'll take now the radius is equal to 85.19. Radius arc by center point method you can choose here, right? Radius is equal to 85.19. We'll take 85.19 as radius. With this point as center, we'll draw the arc now, right? We'll draw the arc like this with this, right? Now this is the point 1. So these points are actually, so this is the point 1, this is the point 2, this is the point 3, this is the point 4, and this point is 1 back, right? So these 1, 2, 3, 4, I can join with a thick line now because I know that they are visible edges. So I'll join 1 to this 2, 2 to this 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 1 back, Here also I'll join 1 to A, right? A to B here, B to C here, C to D here with a thick line, D to A again with a thick line. Likewise, these visible edges will mark them as thick line here. So these lines will mark them as thick lines here like this. Visible edges we have marked. Extra lines you can trim off now. So this is an extra line you can trim off. So this arcs also extra you can trim off. You can just zoom that area. You can see there what is visible lines and what are hidden, that is thin lines, that is construction lines can be seen there. Right? Extra lines, still this arc, if you want you can delete that arc. Right? You can just zoom this area. You can delete this arc. Right? Here also the line here are not joined properly. I have to join it properly here. Right? So here take the line tool. Point 3 should be joined to C, correct? Point 3. So yeah, intersection point I have to take that. Yes. Now it is joined properly. Here also same thing. Extra lines you can trim off here. Alright. So this extra line can be trimmed off like this. Even this arc also you can trim, or you can leave it as it is, no problem. This arc I will just trim this for clarity. Alright. Right. So this arc I just deleted. Now we can see it is clearly visible. So this is how the frustum of a square pyramid has been drawn here using radial line method. This is the point O. This is A. OA is the radius, this true length of the plant generator you have to take here. And with respect to this true length only, you have to mark all these points 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. You have to mark those points 1, 2, 3, 4 in that order. So this is how you have to draw the first, that is the development of a frustum of a square pyramid. Right. So here section plane you can see here the section plane is parallel to XY line, parallel to the base of the solid, parallel to XY line or parallel to the base of the solid, and it is horizontal. So when the section plane is horizontal, then such a solid we are calling it as frustum of a solid, frustum of a solid you will have. So I can just drag this downwards, or I can just make this still smaller. The fonts you can make it smaller. This problem statement, right? I can make it smaller, no problem. Right? Leave it as it is, no problem. Right? This is construction line, no? Right? So they are all construction lines. Let it be like this, no problem. So this is a solution for this problem. Now we'll go for the next problem. The next problem, it is on again a pyramid problem. So pyramid problem means you have to use the development method called as radial line development method you have to use. Right? Now we'll go for drawing the orthographic projection first. Thin line only you can take. Draw the orthographic projection here. The XY line I have drawn. Hexagonal pyramid of base side 30 mm. So I will go for drawing that hexagon now. So I will draw hexagon here, 30 mm, 0 degree, 30 mm, 60 degree, 30 mm, 120 degree, 30 mm, 180 degree, 30 mm, right? So all those things are not coming. Okay, no. Yeah. Tap and enter key is not pressed, right? So 30 mm, 0 degree, then 30 mm, 60 degree, then 30 mm, 120 degree, 30 mm, then 180 degree, then 30 mm, 180 plus 60, that is 240 degree, then 30 mm, then 240 plus 60 is 300, right? Likewise, you can draw the hexagon like this. So it is a hexagonal pyramid. So I have to draw the hexagon here. Hexagon has been drawn with two of the base edges perpendicular to VP. If I draw like this, the two of the base edges here parallel to XY line or parallel to VP. But they are told that it is perpendicular to VP. So I have to make the two of the base edges vertical here. For that, I will select this rotate command here. I will select one of the base edge here, and this base edge I will make it vertical. So you can see now the two of the base edges of this hexagon are perpendicular to XY line, are perpendicular to VP. Now I have to mark the axis point now. So thin line I will take, right? I will mark the axis now joining these diagonals. So these diagonals I will join like this. So axis I will get like this. As it is a pyramid, you can draw all these things. right? So this is the point. So this point you can mark here is A, this point is B, this is the point C, this is the point D, this point is E, and this is the point F, this is the point O in the bracket O1. Now we'll go for drawing the front view, right? We'll select front view, project it to the XY line first, right? So project it to all the corners, we'll project it to XY line. Then we will have the axis height. Axis height is 60 mm. From this point O, I will measure 60 mm and 90 degree. So this is the apex of the pyramid. So apex of the pyramid should be joined to the base like this. As a thin line only you can join initially. Afterwards, visible edges you can mark dark, right? So this is how we have drawn the front view of the given hexagonal pyramid. And the section plane is there here. It is cut by a section plane, right? What they are given here is it is cut by a section plane inclined at 30 degrees to HP, perpendicular to VP, intersecting the axis at a distance of 35 mm above the base. So from the base, that is along the axis from the base, measure 35 mm here. So 35 mm, 90 degree, and this is the point. Through this point, you have to draw a section plane. So we'll take the section plane here, right? 0.25 mm thickness, and it is inclined at 30 degrees to HP, right? So 30 degree angle I will give here, right? We can take any length like this. So here also we can draw it downwards from this point. So length may be anything. Angle is 180 plus 30, that means 210 degree, right? So this is how I am drawing the section plane here. So section plane has been drawn here, and it is cutting the various plant generators of the pyramid here. Those points I have to mark. So first I will mark the all other points here. So this is the point O dash, and here is the point O1 dash, and these points I will mark A dash in the bracket, F dash. Here is the point P dash in the bracket, E dash, and this point is C dash in the bracket, D dash. And the section plane is cutting this edge O dash, A dash at point 1 dash here. I will mark, and it cuts the edge O dash, this B dash at point 2 dash. It cuts the edge O dash C dash at point 3 dash. Again, there is another edge O dash D dash. It cuts at 4 dash. Here it is again, there is another edge here O dash E dash. It cuts at 5 dash, and here it is 6 dash in the bracket, right? So this is how we are marking the various points here where the section plane cuts the lateral sides or the slant edges of the solid, and whatever is below the section plane we have to make them thick line. So we can use the thick line now, continuous line and thick line. So from O1 dash to A dash you can make it thick. This also we can make it thick. Here also we can make it thick. So all the visible edges we are making it thick like this, right? Understood? So we have marked the visible edges here. Now we have to go for drawing the projections now. The development now. So this particular length I have to mark here. What is this length, right? So this also I have to mark, and this length I have to mark, right? So this is where the section plane passes, that is 35 mm. So this completes the orthographic projection. Once the orthographic projection is over, now we have to go for drawing the development. So the development, as I told, it will be drawn using the radial line development in case of the pyramids. So in case of the pyramids, you have to take one radius, that is the true length of the slant generator. So here you can see O dash C dash is there, but this O dash C dash is not in true length, because here in front view OC is not parallel to XY line. If OC is parallel to XY line, then O dash C dash would have been in true length. Here it is not parallel to XY line. Now we have to make OC parallel to XY line. For that we will take a thin line, right? We will draw a horizontal line from X, that is point O. Then we will take the arc tool now, right? With arc tool, with O as center, OC as radius, I will draw an arc like this. I will just zoom this area so that it will be clear, right? So I am doing like this. This is the point C1, right? So this is the point C1 I can mark here. So this is the point C1 I will mark here. So C1 should be projected to the front view now. Take the line tool, thin line, right? So C1, when you project to the front view, it becomes C1 dash. So C1 dash to O dash, I will join now. So that is the true length of the slant generator. This is how we are obtaining the true length of the slant generator here, C1 dash. So measure the true length of the slant generator here. Whatever the true length of the slant generator, we will measure that distance, right? We have measured here. Then these 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash, etc. we have to project it onto the true length line. So we'll project the point 1 dash onto the true length line here, the point 2 dash onto the true length line, right? Similarly, the point 3 dash also onto the true length line here, right? So this is the point 3 dash here. I'll project it onto the true length line. Then you have to measure these distances now. So what is this distance I want? O dash, 1 dash I want here. Then this distance O dash. So I'll just mark here, right? Or else directly we can go for distance between here. So this is O dash, this 1 dash. This distance also I want, right? Another one is O dash, this 1 dash, right? So this is 1 dash too. Yeah, this is 1 dash. So that also I want. So these three distances I will mark here. So these three distances will be used for drawing the development. So we now will go for drawing the development. I have to take this true length of the slant generator now. I'll just zoom this area, right? Yes, I obtained here true length of the slant generator as 67.08. I will use that now. I will take an arc tool now, arc by center point. I will take one point here and radius is equal to 67.08. That is the true length of the slant generator. With that, I'll draw an arc like this. I'll draw the arc. Now we'll go for drawing the line here, right? I'll join this point to this one now, right? Now I have to mark this A, B, C, D, E, etc. now, right? I have to mark this point A, B, C, D, E. So this point is actually A and this point is O, right? Now I have to mark the point B, C, D, etc. For that, we'll take the arc tool with A as center and radius is equal to 30 mm. I'll cut this arc now. This is the point B. Similarly, again with B as center, 30 mm as radius, I'll cut this arc at point C. Again, you take this with C as center, 30 mm as radius, cut this arc, you will get the point. This is B, C, this is D. Similarly, again 30 mm and cut this arc. This is the point E. Similarly, here 30 mm, cut this arc. Yes, like this, I'll cut, right? So this arc should be extended actually, and not drawn. I will take another line from where here, right? From where here, I'll take another line. I'll just use the command called as extend to next. I'll use extend to next here. So this arc is extended. These points I can mark here. So this is the point B, this is the point C, this point is D, this is E, this point is F, right? F means, so 6 are over. Again, I want another one A. For that, I will take again arc tool with this as center, 30 mm as radius. I'll cut here, right? I will mark this point as A here. So this is the point A, right? So this is extra. So this extra line, I'll just trim it here. So this is not required. I'll trim it here. I'll join now. So these OA, OB, OC, etc. I'll join O to B here, right? Then O to C here, then O to D here, like this. I'll join all slant edges here like this. Right? So I joined the slant. Extra lines I can trim off here. These are arcs are extra. I'll trim off these arcs now. Right? I can just, I think here I made some mistake. There are 2 lines. No, it's okay. Right. I'll just zoom this area so that I can delete those arcs again. So I can use the trim tool right? I will trim this arc, so otherwise it will not look nice. I'll just trim those arcs, right? So I will join this now A, B, C, D, etc. Now I will take a thick line now. I'll join A to B and B to C, etc. I'll join now, right? B, then B to C, then C to D and point marker, then D to here E and point marker, right? Then E to F here end point, then F to A back. Here also there is an arc. I'll just fill it, right? So this is your base A, B, C, D, E, F, A back. Then I have to mark this point 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So those points are at particular distances. We can see here the point 1 is at a distance of here 37.27 distance. So this is point 1, 37.27. I will take a line tool here on OA. There is point 1 at a distance of 37.27, right? 37.27 and thin line only I will choose here. So this is your point 1, right? At the same distance on OA, this side also, so there is a point 1, that is 37.27 here also. On OF also, same thing is there, 37.27. At that distance, I will have the point 6 here, right? And the point 2 and 5 I have to mark. The point 2 and 5, they are at a distance of here, this one 27.95. I will choose here the 27.95 distance. Along OB, I will get the point 2. Along OE, I will get the point 5 here. Same distance, that is 27.95. Right? I will mark this. And the point 3 and 4 is a distance of 22.36. So I will take here from here 22.36 along OC. I will get the point 3. Similarly, same distance along OD. I will get the point, say, this one. I will join these lines now with a thick line. I will take the thick line now. So this is a point 1 here. Somewhere here I have marked the point 1. Here I have marked the point 2. And points are there. You can just use those end points, right? 3. Then this is wherever that end point marker comes. Then we can click there, right? Not getting? You can zoom that area, no problem. We'll zoom that area so we can get somewhere here the point here. Yeah. Then another point here. Then this one somewhere here you will have. Here you will have a point here, end point marker. So we'll mark these points now. So this is a point 1, this is a point 2, this is a point 3, this is a point 4, and here is the point 5, this is a point 6, and this is a point 1 back. And 1 to A, 1 to B, all those things you can join with a thick line. Take the thick line, right? So join 1 to A, right, like this, then 2 to B with a thick line. So this 3 to C, then 4 to D, like this, visible edges, you can mark them as thick lines, right? Here also you can mark. This one is say for 6 to F and 1 to here A. So this completes the project, that is development using radial line method. So this is how we are drawing the development of the remaining portions of pyramid using radial line method. So dimensioning we have done. Only thing is we are not shown what is the inclination of the section plane. So that also we have to show here what is the inclination of this line with respect to xy. That inclination I can show here as 30 degrees. So this completes the solution for the problem. Right? Now we'll go for the next problem. The next problem is a cylinder problem, a bit different problem. So till now we have solved the problems on prisms and the pyramids. Now we are going for the problem on the cylinder. Cylinder problem we'll do. Cylinder and cone problems we'll discuss. The special kind of problems. The cylinder is similar to a prism. So we have to make use of a method called as parallel line development method for developing the cylinder. So cylinder, how it is placed on HP and what is its orientation, we will now see. It is a vertical cylinder of base diameter 50 mm, axis length 60 mm, is cut by a section plane perpendicular to VP, inclined at 50 degrees to HP, and passing the midpoint of the axis. So first we have to draw the orthographic projections now, right? We'll go for drawing the XY line and draw the orthographic projection. So we'll draw the XY line now. So cylinder will be seen as a circle in the top view. So circle of diameter 50 mm. So I will take that circle of diameter 50 mm here. I will draw it in top view like this, right? Right. Now I have to divide this circle into 8 equal parts. I will divide the circle into 8 equal parts like this. So take the line tool now, right? From here, I'll join it to this one like this. I have to draw the horizontal and vertical diameter first, right? I will draw horizontal and vertical diameter and a line at an inclination of 40, that is 45 degree. I have to draw now, right? So this is 45 degree, and from here again I have to take this side 45 degree, 25 mm, that is actually 135 degree. This bottom side, if I come here, it is minus 135 degree, 25 mm minus 135 degree. And this line I will draw as 25 mm and minus 45 degree. So what I done is I divide the circle into 8 equal parts. So these points I will mark here. A, this point is B, this is the point C, this is the point D, this point is E, this is the point F, this is say G, this point is H, and here is the point O in the bracket O1. So this is how the top view is drawn. Now we have to go for drawing the front view of the cylinder. All these points will project it to the front view now, right? From the different points on the circumference of the circle will project those points. So we have to project those, right? From G also I'll rise like this, right? From various points of the top view I will raise the vertical projector. Then from here I have to draw the axial line, right? 0.25 mm thickness. Axial line I will choose. Axis length is 60 mm and 90 degree. So this is the point, the top surface of the cylinder. That is the point O dash. I will call this point as O dash. From all these various points also, I will draw the thin lines only because I don't know where this section plane cuts. So initially I will take thin lines from A dash. I will raise the height here, that is 60 mm 90 degree, right? Similarly from here also 60 mm then 90 degree. Then from here then 60 mm 90 degree, right? So I am raising the height from various points here, 60 mm 90 degree. Then I will join like this. This one I will join here also. I will join like this. So this is your top surface of the cylinder. Here the bottom surface of the cylinder is this one, right? So bottom surface of the cylinder is this one. So those points you can mark now, right? Here I can top surfaces I can mark as A1, bottom surface I can mark as A1, B1, C1. Top I can mark it as A, B, C, D, like that I can mark. So I'll mark these points here. So this is A dash and this point is B dash in the bracket H dash, and this point is so C dash in the bracket, so it is G dash, and this point is that is D dash in the bracket F dash, and the last point is E dash here. Likewise the bottom also I will have A1, B1, C1 like that. Now we'll go for drawing the section plane. The section plane is perpendicular to VP, inclined at 50 degrees to HP and passing to the midpoint. So for that I want the midpoint now. So this midpoint I will turn on now. So I'll take a line tool now. So midpoint I will mark here. This is the midpoint and inclination is 50 degree here. Angle is 50 degree. I have to choose now, right? And it is a section plane. I'll choose the section plane now, right? I'm drawing like this, right? So here also I have to draw it downwards, right? Inclination is, so in 180 plus 50, that means 230 degree. 180 plus 60, 50 is 230 degree. I'll choose like this. Length may be anything, So we are drawn like this. So this is the section plane. Whatever the bottom portion is there, that I have to make it thick now. I'll take the line tool, thick line. So bottom portion, this one as the outer edge. So here the outer edge will make it as thick line. So these lines will make it as thick line only. So this is actually I have to choose the continuous line here, continuous line and thick line. Wherever the section plane cuts the edges of the solid or the different generators of the solid, I have to mark those points now, right? I'll just zoom this area. So where it cuts the edge exactly at A1 now, right? You can see that it is cutting exactly at A1, isn't it? Right? No, it is slightly above, right? We can mark those points now. It is slightly cutting above here. So from here to here, this should be a thick line. So this point is, I'll mark it as 1 dash here. So this is the point 1 dash, right? I can mark it as 1 dash here like this, right? So then I have to mark this point 2 dash. Here it is 2 dash. This point is 3 dash. Likewise, wherever the section plane cuts the generators of the solid, those points I will mark 5 dash. Here again in the bracket it is 6 dash, right? Here in the bracket it is 7 dash. Likewise, I will mark here the point 8 dash in the bracket, right? So this is wherever the section plane cuts the edges or generators of the solid, those points we have marked. Now this completes the orthographic projection. Now we have to go for drawing the isometric projection. Sorry, this one, that is development, right? We have to draw the development of this cylinder. For drawing the development of the cylinder, we are making use of the parallel development method. So I'll choose the thin lines only from various endpoints, right? I will draw the horizontal lines like this. From here also, I will draw the horizontal lines. Wherever those endpoints are there, I will draw. Now one vertical line I will draw here. From here, I will draw the vertical line. And what is the length of this? So this length is equal to pi into d. So here I have to draw one line here. From here, horizontal line length should be pi into d. What is the value of pi? Pi is 3.14 into d is 50 mm. So that I have to calculate now. Now I'll go for this calculator here, right? Right, I will make use of the calculator now. I'll use the calculator, and what is the value of that? I'll check now. That is the pi into d. Pi is 3.14 into d is 50 mm. I'll calculate that value. It is 157. So I have to take this pi d length, that is 157 mm. I have to take here and draw another line like this, right? So I'll take another line like this. So this length is 157 mm. That is the length pi into d. So this is pi into d. I have taken this length. So this length pi d, it should be divided into 8 equal parts. 157 mm should be divided into 8 equal parts, and you have to draw all these vertical lines here. Extra line I can trim off here. Use this trim. So this point is A1. Here is the point A1 and this point is A. Here also same thing. This point is A1 and this point is A. So this A1A length I have to divide into 8 equal parts. Again, I'll use the this calculator tool, right? 157 divided by 8. How much it is? I will find. 157 divided by 8 is, right? So 157 divided by 8. What is the value? 19.625. So at each 19.625, I will mark the divisions now, right? So I'll go for marking here from A1 to 19.625. I will mark the point B1. Similarly, the same distance 19.625. I will mark the point C1. Again 19.625. I will mark the point D1 19.625. I will mark the point C1 like this. At each 19.625, I am marking the points here, right? So again, another one 19.625, right? From here, I will draw the vertical lines here. From each of these division points, I will draw the vertical lines here. So we'll get the point A, B, C, D, E in the top surface here, right? I'll get this point A, B, C, D, E in the top surface like this. So here, from each of these points, I'm drawing a vertical line here, like this. So these points I can mark here. So this is the point B1, right? So this point is C1, this point is D1, and this is the point E1, like this. This is F1, this is G1, and this point is H1. Here also same thing. This is B, this point is C, this is D, this point is E, here is F, like that. I'll mark the various points in the top surface also. Now from various these section points, wherever the section plane cuts the generator for the solid, from those points, now we have to draw the horizontal line. So we'll take a line tool now, thin line, or that is only thin line only, that is from point 1, I have to draw a horizontal line here. Then from point 2, this intersection point, I have to draw a horizontal line like this. From each of these points, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., I will draw a horizontal line here like this. Right? I can zoom this area where that point comes. Yes, the point 5 is here only, no problem. Right? We'll mark that. Now the point 1 dash, it cuts the edge A1A at point 1. So here is the point 1. I'll mark here. The point 2, it cuts the edge B1B at point 2, and point 3 cuts the edge C1C at point 3, D1D at point 4, E1E at point 5, then F1F at point 6, then G1G at point 7, and H1H at point 8, and the point 1 is here only again. So these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you have to join with a smooth curve now. Take the curve tool, and the thick line only you can choose directly. See that maintain relationship is turned off. Then go for drawing, joining these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with a smooth curve. Using the curve tool, we are joining this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with a smooth curve like this. That is 7, then 8, then back to 1 here, right? So this is how you are drawn. The bottom portion, you can join it with a straight line here, right? Continuous line, 1, 2. So this is 1, 1, 2, 1 back, you can join with a continuous line. So this is how we are drawing the development of this sectioned cylinder. That is a vertical cylinder which is cut by a section plane. So we are drawn like this. So this is how you have to draw the development. So we have done the dimensioning. Only thing is, what is the inclination of this? We are not marked here. Angle between this in section plane with the XY line, we have to mark here. You can mark that. What is the inclination? So here the base points also you have to mark here. So this is O1 dash. So these points you can mark here. This is A1 dash, here B1 dash, like that. Various points can be marked here. C1 dash, this is D1 dash, like that it can be marked. Then E1 dash, like that. All other points can be marked here. So this is how we have to draw here. The here also here in the bracket you need here A1, right? Here it is B1 in the bracket. Here C1 in the bracket, like that. Various points can be marked here. T1, here it is E1. These points are not marked earlier, so you have to mark them now. So this is G1 in the bracket and H1 in the bracket here. But it becomes a bit clumsy, right? But if you have to draw that, you have to mark all those points. So this completes the solution for this vertical cylinder problem. Cylinder will be developed using a method called as the that is parallel line development method, similar to the prism. Now we'll go for one more problem. That is the last problem for today. That is a cone problem. So cone is a special kind of problem again. It is a special case of a pyramid. So how the pyramid is developed? Pyramid is developed using the radial line development method. Here also the cone also we are doing the same method, that is the radial line development method, but there is some difference. Some difference is there. Those things we'll learn now. First, we have to draw the orthographic projection. XY line I drawn. Cone of base diameter 50 mm, axis length 60 mm. I have to indicate in the orthographic projection. For that, I will take the circle here. So diameter 50 mm, radius is 25 mm. I will take a thick line here. I have drawn the circle here. Circle has been drawn in orthographic projection here in the top view. Right? Then you have to divide the circle into 8 equal parts. So I will draw the horizontal and vertical diameters here. Right? Horizontal and vertical diameters. Then 45-degree lines, 25, 45-degree. Right? Then here also, this side also 25, 135-degree. This side I will draw here from this, that is 25 minus 135. Then this side it is 25 minus 45. Then these points I will mark here. So this is the point A, this is B, this is C. Like that, the various points I can mark now. F, this is G, and this point is H. And this is the point O in the bracket O1. Now we have to go for drawing the front view. I'll take the thin line now. Right? I'll project this ABCD up to this XY line now. Right? ABCD, etc. I will project it, sorry, up to XY line like this. Various points I have projected. So this is the point O1. From point O1, you have to raise the axis height, that is 60 mm, 90 degree. Then this apex. Apex should be joined to the base with a stick, that is the base should be joined like this. That is what we have done. Alright. Then the various generators also you can join here. So these generators also I will join. Generators of the cone I will join like this. So these points I will mark now. So this is the point O dash, and this is the point A dash. This is the point B dash in the bracket H dash. Likewise, the various points I can mark now. So this is the point C dash in the bracket G dash, and here is the point D dash in the bracket F dash, and the last one is here E dash, and this point is O1 dash. All those points we can mark. So in the orthographic projection, I have drawn the cone now. Cone in the orthographic projection has been drawn. Now we have to take up the section plane. What is that? How the section plane is? It is inclined at 40 degrees to HP and passing at a point 20 mm along the axis from the apex. From the apex, I have to take a 20 mm now. I will take a line tool now. Right? From the apex, I will measure 20 mm here. Right? Along the axis, I will measure. So through this point, I have to draw a section plane now. That is section plane I will choose now. Right? 0.25 mm. How the section plane is? It is inclined at 40 degrees to HP. Inclination, I have to give it as 40 degree here. 40 degree inclination I will take. I will draw it downwards also. Length may be anything. Inclination is here 180 plus 40, that is 220 degree. So 220 degree I will take like this. So this is a section plane. Right? So wherever the section plane cuts the edges or the generators of the solid, those things we have to mark now. So this is a point. I will just zoom this area for clarity. Right? We'll mark those points now. This is 1 dash. Yes, 2 dash in the bracket, that is 2 dash. Here it is 3 dash. This point is 4 dash. So here is the point 5 dash. Similarly, the 6 dash here within the bracket, 7 dash within the bracket, and 8 dash within the bracket. Because they are not seen, they are behind. So wherever the section plane cuts the generators of the solid, those points we have marked now. So whatever the bottom portion is there, that we have to make it now stick. That is 1 dash 2. This is the 1 dash now. So I have to get properly. For that, I'll go for removing this midpoint. Right? So I'll join here 1 dash 2. This A dash I'll join with thick line. These lines I'll join now with thick line like this. The outer edge only will be visible here. So that I'll join it as a thick line now. Right? So those things I have marked down. Now we have to go for drawing the development. Before going the development, I'll just dimension this, right? So I'll show the dimensions here, dimensions of the circle, and where this section plane starts. So that is distance from here to here, that is 20 mm, right? Where the section plane starts in the along the axis, that also we have marked. Now we have to go for drawing the development. For drawing the development, we have to take the true length of the slant generator. So whatever the true length of the slant generator, I will measure this here, right? I'll go for dimensioning from O dash to E dash. So this is the true length of the slant generator. This I will take, true length of the slant generator. So with the true length of the slant generator, now I have to draw the arc now, arc by center point. We take any point O as center, 65 mm as radius, draw an arc like this now, draw an arc like this. Then join one point, so thin line only have to draw here initially. So this to this one you have to join. So this is the point O, this point is O actually, and this is the point A. Now I have to mark another point A here such that this angle I have to compute now. So how to compute that angle? I'll just write here the angle theta. I'll say angle theta should be computed as, so this one, that is R by R into 360 degree. R means the radius of this smaller circle. So radius of the small circle is 25 mm. R by R, this is the capital, that is 65 mm into R by R into 360 degree. You have to use that, right? R by R into 360 degree. That is this angle theta I have to compute. I have to draw another line from here such that, so this inclination theta is equal to this value 25 by 65 into 360. So I will compute, I will just go for dimensioning this angle here. This angle I'll say here, so this I'll just say, right? But while just use the dimensioning method, that is maintain relationship, I'll just turn on here, and this dimensioning method I'll choose as the, so this one I'll just say, yeah, right. So this value is 25 by 65 into, right, into 360. I will say here directly. I will type that expression here. That's what the value, 138 degree. You can just check here, 138.45 from the calculator. You can check here. So you can use calculator, right? In the calculator you can see 25 by 65 into 360. What is that value? You have to get, yes, 135 or 138.46. That is what we have done here. 138.46 we have done. Now we have to divide this extra line. You can trim off here whatever the extra lines are there. Use that trim command, right? Extra lines you can trim off. So this is the point A now, right? This point is again A. So you have to see this out here. This angle theta is computed using this formula, 25 by 65. 25 means radius of the circle here, and 65 is the length of the slant generator, this one 65 into 360. Using that we are getting this value 135, 138 degree. So 138 degree we are having here, right? So this 138 now I have to divide into 8 equal parts. So instead of doing that, what I will do is, so there is one command called as array command. I'll make use of that array command here for dividing this angle. I have to draw these lines. So for that I'll use the array command. Where is that array command? Yes, turned off. I'll just go for the toolbars, customize the toolbar, right? So in the draw toolbar it will be there. Array command is not there. Yeah, this is what, radial polar array or radial array. I'll just drag and drop here, right? I'll just drag and drop this one. Polar array I want, so I dropped here. I'll just close it. I'll press this button now. That is the, where is the, what is the center? I have to choose that first. All right. So first I'll click on this array. So this one, array command. So the reference is, so this is the reference point, right? Reference point I'll choose here, Angle, I have to give the same angle 135, 138.45. That is the angle here. And number of counts. Counts I have to get 9 here, 1 plus 1 extra. That is 8 plus 1, 9 I will say, right? And then I will click finish. So this is how this arc is divided into 8 equal parts, right? So I'll mark those points here. So this is the point B, this is the point C, this point I'll call it as D, and this point I'll call it as E. Like that, the various points I'm getting here. This is F, this is the point G, this is the point H now, right? So along these lines, now I have to mark the points A, B, C, D, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Right? So these points 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. I have to project it onto the true length line. The point 1 dash is directly on true length line, so no need of marking again projecting onto true length line. You can just measure the point distance from O dash to 1 dash here. What is that distance you can measure? So that is 33.31. So you can take the line tool here. Along OA, you measure 33.31, right? 33.31 you measure here. So that is the point 1 here. So this is the point 1. On this side also same thing, right? You can take the line tool here. Along this 33.31 you can measure here, and this is the point 1. Point 1 we have marked. Similarly, this point, the last one, that is the point 5, right? The point 5 is here, you can see. So this directly you can measure this, go for distance between O dash to this 5 dash. So this intersection point, wherever it is, so that you can measure here, that is 16.05, that is along the edge OE, right? 16.05, you can mark here along the edge OE. So take here OE 16.05. You can take the distance and mark here. So that is your point 5. You can mark this point 5 here. The remaining points 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, then 4, 5, etc. Those things are not in true length. You have to project them onto the true length line. So what you have to do is you have to take the line tool here, continuous line. The point 2 should be projected onto the true length line. Similarly, the point 3 should be projected onto the true length line. Point 4 should be projected onto the true length line. So those distances we have to measure now, right? Distance from 1 dash to 4 dash. So this I have to measure now, right? So distance between I have to use by 2 points. It is there. Yes, O dash to this you have to measure here. Similarly, O dash to 3, 1 dash. This you have to measure. Then O dash to 2, 1 dash. So this distance you have to measure here. So this is 28.78 along OB and OH. So that will mark now. I'll just zoom this area. Yes, right. I'll take a line tool now. The point 2 I have to mark at a distance of 28.78. So from here 28.78, I will take the distance. I will mark a point here. So that is the point 2, right? So this is the point 2. Again the point, the another point 8 is also there on the same distance along OH. So along OH, I'll take the distance 28.78 and I'll mark this point, that is 8, right? So this point I'll mark it as 8. Then the point 7 I have to mark at a distance of 21.67 along OC. So I'll take here along OC 21.67, right? So that is your point 3, right? You can mark that point as 3 here. Again on OG also same distance. So you can take same distance along OG, that is 21.67 here, and mark that point as, that is 7, right? You can mark that point as here 7 here, right? And the point now is along OE. OE and this, yes, OE, that is 3 dash is there now, right? So 1 dash, 2 dash, that is 4 dash I have to mark now, right? Point 4 dash I have to mark. I'll take the line now, that is at a distance of 17.37. This is 2, this is 3, this is 4 years here, right? Along OD. Along OD, What is the distance? 17.37 I will take, right? I will mark along this one, that is 4. And all the same, there is OF also, same distance I have to take here on OF, that is 17.37 along OF. So that is your point. One is 4 and another one is 6. You can mark those points here. So here there is a point 4, here there should be a point 6. Now we will zoom that area and we'll join all these 1, 2, 3, 4 with actually a. So this is a section 1 now. Yeah, we'll join it as a curve now. We have to join as a curve. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have to join as a curve now. Use the curve tool now. Maintain relationship. You have to turn off. Right? Maintain relationship. You have to turn off. Then use the curve tool. Start from the point 1. So where is this one? Here is, yes, 1. Then you will have the point 2 here somewhere. Yes, the point 2. Then you will have the point 3 somewhere here. We have marked that point 3. Yeah, this is 2, no? On this we have to mark the point 3. Yeah, 3. Then we are having 4 here. Somewhere here we are having the point 4. Then you will have the point 5, right? The point 5 we have marked here somewhere, the distance. Yes, 5. Then we are having the point here 6. Then we are having the point 7. Then we are having the point 8. Yes. Then we are having the point 1 back. Like this, you have to join as a thick line, right? So this line should be a thick line. Join it as a thick line, and outer lines. So 1 to A, you have to make it as a thick, right? You select the thick line, join 1 to A here as a thick line, right? And this side also 1 to A, you can join as a thick line. So this is how we have to draw the development of the cone. Development of the cone shall be drawn in this fashion, right? So this angle, calculation of the angle theta is most crucial here in case of the development of the cone. What is this included angle of the cone, right? That you have to find out as r by r into 360 degree, where r is the radius of the circle and capital R is the length of the slant generator multiplied by 360 degree. That will give you this included angle. And one more method we have used this here for drawing these lines, that is dividing the circle into 8 equal parts, that we have done using the method called as polar array method. So this polar array command we have made use of. So I think with this we'll stop today's class, right? If you are having any doubts, you can ask me now.